Whoa, hey, don't set it, don't set it. Hey, Rick, I'm getting a third boat here.
Captain Johnny, at the helm of the Wizard, spotted an illegal Russian poaching vessel stealthily encroaching on their prized fishing grounds. This wasn't just a breach of the sea's unwritten rules, it was a direct threat to their livelihood. Captain Johnny and his team refused to give up in a high-stakes battle.
3, 2, 1. Line 'em up!
And they came up with a clever way to stop the trespassing boat. When a huge Russian naval armada with lots of weapons aimed at the small American boats showed up, things got worse. Will they win, or will the thieves come out on top? Stay with us to see this Wizard crew story as they fight off an illegal hunting ship on the Deadliest Catch. Captain Keith's face was whipped by the cold winds. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Captain Keith quickly joined forces with Captain Johnny. Together, they hatched a bold strategy to confront the interloper.
That doesn't scare this guy away, nothing will.
Oh, hell yeah.
The plan was simple, yet risky. Maneuver the Wizard in a way that would block the poacher's path, asserting their right to the fishing grounds without escalating the conflict into open hostility. It was a high-stakes chess game on the open sea, with each captain anticipating the other's moves. But the situation took an even more dramatic turn with the unexpected arrival of a Russian naval armada. The sea bristled with the tension of a classic standoff as missiles locked onto the small American boats, elevating the confrontation to a matter of national pride and international law. The Wizard and its crew were vastly outgunned and outnumbered, facing a formidable opponent that threatened not just their catch, but their very lives. In the face of such overwhelming odds, the courage and ingenuity of Captain Johnny and his crew were put to the ultimate test. They had to rely on their deep knowledge of the Bering Sea, navigating through ice patches and using the fog to their advantage, playing a dangerous game of hide-and-seek with the naval fleet. As the standoff reached its peak, the air was thick with the possibility of confrontation. But the crew of the Wizard, seasoned by countless battles against the sea itself, stood firm. They knew the waters better than anyone, using their skills to outmaneuver the armada without firing a single shot. This encounter wasn't just about protecting their fishing spot. It was a declaration of their resilience and right to earn a living from the sea.
There's some illegal fishing going on. These are our grounds. Wizard runs from nobody.
The Wizard's confrontation with the illegal poaching vessel and the subsequent naval armada standoff became a testament to the crew's bravery, strategic acumen, and unyielding spirit in the face of danger. Their goal was clear: locate the ultimate crab fishing spot, a place abundant with the sea's most prized catch. The task was daunting, requiring not just skill, but a deep understanding of the sea's unpredictable nature. Navigating the Wizard through the choppy waters, Keith's experienced eyes were constantly on the lookout for the ideal location to drop their 250-pot arsenal. Timing was everything. Too early, and they risked coming up empty. Too late, and the crabs might move to another area. Keith's command to hold off on setting the pots reflected the careful strategy required in this high-stakes game. The mission, however, was not without its dangers. Unknown vessels on the horizon posed a constant threat. One such encounter left the crew on edge. A ship appeared, not signaling its presence on the AIS system, a red flag for potential illegal activity. Keith and Rick's decision to change course and maintain visibility while turning off their AIS transmitter was a tactical move to evade any unwanted attention or possible confrontation. The process of setting, monitoring, and hauling crab pots is a meticulous one, honed by years of experience. Once a promising spot was found, the crew sprang into action. The pots, each a heavy cage of hope, were methodically launched overboard, disappearing into the cold depths below.
Hard work, boys.
Where's our next pot at? Should be over here.
The crew then waited, a period of anxious anticipation, before the crucial moment of hauling the pots back to the surface. This operation was a dance with the sea, a test of endurance and precision. Monitoring the pots' locations, adjusting for currents and weather, and the physical toil of hauling the heavy catches aboard, required every ounce of the crew's strength and savvy. Each pot brought to the surface was a victory, each crab a hard-won prize. Through it all, Captain Keith and Rick navigated the challenges with a blend of old wisdom and new energy, their efforts a testament to the relentless pursuit of the Bering Sea's bounty. This was more than just fishing. It was a battle against the elements, a gamble with the sea, where strategy, skill, and sheer determination decided the outcome. The icy expanse of the Bering Sea became a battleground for Captain Keith and his determined deckhand Rick, as they faced an insidious threat, sabotage and illegal fishing operations. Their discovery of such underhanded tactics marked a turning point in their mission, revealing a dark undercurrent threatening not just their catch, but their very way of life. As they navigated through their customary fishing grounds, the evidence was unmistakable. Gear tampered with, pots mysteriously missing, and unknown vessels lurking with turned-off AIS systems. These were not mere accidents, but calculated moves by illegal operators intent on plundering the sea's riches. Keith and Rick's response was one of unwavering resolve. To them, this was more than an attack on their livelihood. It was a challenge to their rights, their heritage, and the sustainable practices that had governed the Bering Sea for generations. They knew that to back down would mean not just a loss of income, but a concession of their territory to those who would exploit it, without regard for the consequences. The conflict underscored a broader issue facing fishermen across the world: the scourge of illegal fishing. Such activities not only deplete fish stocks, but also undermine the efforts of those who fish responsibly. The impact on local fishermen, whose lives and communities are intertwined with the health of the sea, is profound. Reduced catches mean strained finances, disrupted traditions, and a future cast into uncertainty. Keith and Rick, in their stand against this threat, became symbols of resistance. Their fight was not just for their own stakes, but a rallying cry for the broader community of fishermen who demand the right to work the waters that have sustained them for generations. The challenge they faced on the Bering Sea was a stark reminder of the ongoing struggle to protect the oceans.
And there's something hauled towards the United States. I'm seeing
A testament to the courage and resilience of those who depend on the sea for their survival. Jake Anderson's journey through the turbulent Bering Sea encapsulates the harsh realities of black cod fishing, a pursuit fraught with peril and uncertainty. Jake, a seasoned fisherman, was no stranger to the hardships of the sea. The relentless cold, towering waves, and long, grueling hours were all in a day's work. But nothing could have prepared him for the disaster that struck when a massive cargo ship, heedless of the fishing gear scattered across the sea, plowed through his carefully laid pots. This wasn't just a setback, it was a devastating blow to Jake's season, potentially costing him and his crew their livelihoods. The aftermath of the collision was a scene of chaos and despair. Hundreds of pots, each representing a portion of Jake's hopes and investment, were lost to the depths, dragged away by the indifferent passage of the cargo ship. The financial toll was immediate, but the emotional impact ran deeper, testing Jake's resolve and the morale of his crew. Yet, it was in this moment of crisis that Jake's true character shone through. Refusing to be defeated, he devised an innovative plan to recover what had been lost. Drawing on his years of experience and a deep well of determination, Jake proposed a bold salvage operation. It was a gamble, one that would require all the skill, bravery, and teamwork the crew could muster. Rallying his crew around the recovery effort, Jake ignited a spark of hope amidst the gloom. Together, they embarked on the daunting task of retrieving their pots from the unforgiving grip of the sea. It was a testament to their unbreakable spirit and the bond that had formed between them in the face of shared adversity. Jake's plan was a success. Against all odds, the crew managed to reclaim a significant portion of their lost gear, and with it, a measure of their stolen fortune. This victory was more than just a financial win. It was a powerful affirmation of their resilience, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to their craft. This menace disrupts the flow of goods, endangers the lives of crew members, and poses significant financial risks. Yet, in the face of such danger, the maritime community has not stood idle. A range of innovative defensive strategies and technologies have been deployed to protect vessels and their cargoes from pirate attacks. Cargo ships, often seen as lucrative targets by pirates, are now equipped with an arsenal of non-lethal measures designed to deter, delay, or completely thwart pirate attempts to board. One of the most visually striking defenses is the use of water cannons. These powerful devices can unleash torrents of water with enough force to push back and disorient attackers, making it nearly impossible for them to gain a foothold on the ship's deck. Another cutting-edge technology is the long-range acoustic device, LRAD, a sound cannon that emits an unbearable high-pitched noise capable of deterring pirates before they get too close. This device can be directed at approaching boats, creating a sonic barrier that protects the ship without resorting to lethal force. Ships have also adopted more passive measures, such as razor wire placed along the railings to make boarding more difficult, and the deployment of mannequins to create the illusion of a larger crew presence. These measures, while simpler, contribute to a layered defense strategy that increases a vessel's chance of repelling attacks. The effectiveness of these non-lethal anti-piracy measures has been a subject of discussion within the maritime industry. While they have undoubtedly saved lives and cargo, questions about their long-term efficacy and the ethics of their use have been raised. Some argue that while non-lethal, devices like the LRAD can cause permanent harm, raising ethical considerations about their use. Others contend that the primary goal is to protect the lives of those aboard the ships, and any measure that can achieve this without taking lives is justified. The bond that forms among those who work these waters is unlike any other. Crews become families, sharing not just meals and tasks, but the weight of isolation and the thrill of the catch. It's a connection forged in salt spray and storm, where the triumph of a bountiful haul or the strain of empty nets is felt by all. This camaraderie is the lifeline that pulls them through the darkest hours and the fiercest gales. Fishing in the Bering Sea is more than a job. It's a legacy passed down through generations. Families with deep roots in the fishing community bear the names of those who have gone before, each generation adding its stories to the lore of the sea. This lineage is a proud declaration of identity, a connection to the past that guides the present and inspires the future. Yet, the sea is a fickle guardian, giving as swiftly as it takes. Every fisherman carries personal tales of loss and resilience, moments when the sea's ferocity was met with human determination. There are stories of vessels swallowed by the waves, of miraculous survivals, and of the quiet, aching absence of those who did not return. But within these narratives of loss, there are also unparalleled tales of triumph, of communities rallying in the face of tragedy, of miraculous catches that save a season, and of the quiet strength to set sail once more, despite the scars. The life of those who ply the Bering Sea is an endless cycle of challenge and reward. The harsh conditions demand much, taking a toll on body and spirit. Yet, it is here, amidst the relentless waves and the camaraderie of the crew, that the true essence of maritime life is found. It is a life marked by the rhythm of the tides, where each day brings a new chapter of struggle, resilience, and unyielding hope for the next great catch. This time, 650 miles northwest of Dutch Harbor, the crew of the fishing vessel Wizard faces harsh weather conditions. They're operating near the Russian border, in waters farther north than where most fishermen dare to venture. Captain Keith Colburn, the skipper of the Wizard, is optimistic about the fishing prospects in this area, having had success here in the previous season. With the Opilio crab season just beginning, he's eager to deploy his fishing gear, aiming to catch 200,000 pounds of crab. As the crew prepares to set their pots, they're aware of the geopolitical tensions that add an element of risk to their fishing expedition. The area is close to the maritime border with Russia, and with recent military buildups on the Ukrainian border, tensions are high. Despite these challenges, the crew's immediate concern is the crab below the icy waves. However, their operation is soon complicated by the presence of a Russian trawler. This isn't a fellow crab fishing boat, but a large trawler that threatens to damage their gear and the seabed with its heavy equipment. Captain Keith watches anxiously as the trawler moves dangerously close to their pots, fearing the worst. The situation escalates when they discover that the trawler has displaced their pots, causing significant financial loss and operational setbacks. The crew is frustrated and worried about further interference, knowing they can't confront the Russian vessel on their own. In response, Captain Keith reaches out to another captain, Johnny, from the fishing vessel Time Bandit, proposing a collaboration to protect their fishing grounds. They devise a plan to set their crab pots in a tight grid, creating a physical barrier that would be difficult for the trawler to navigate without getting entangled. This joint effort symbolizes their resolve to defend their fishing rights and maintain their presence in these contested waters. As they execute their plan, the captains experience a moment of patriotic pride. They raise the American flag on their vessels, a defiant gesture of their right to fish in these waters and a message to the Russian trawler. The operation, dubbed Anvil Drop, aims to prevent the trawler from crossing into their fishing area, securing the U.S. side of the border for their crab fishing operations. The camaraderie between the American captains and their crews is evident as they work together, setting pot after pot to create an impenetrable barrier. Their spirits are high, bolstered by a sense of duty and the satisfaction of taking a stand. They joke and cheer, feeling like frontline defenders of their country's maritime territory. As they near the completion of their barrier, the crew of the Wizard faces another challenge. The strong currents threaten to push their boat over the maritime border into Russian waters, a move that could provoke an international incident. They navigate carefully, conscious of the delicate situation and the potential consequences of their actions. In the end, the fishermen successfully established their blockade without crossing into Russian territory. They've taken a bold stand, using their ingenuity and teamwork to protect their livelihoods against the backdrop of geopolitical tensions and the unforgiving nature of the Bering Sea. Their story is a testament to the resilience and determination of those who make their living on the water, facing both natural and human-made challenges with courage and solidarity. Following the tense encounters near the Russian border, another challenge arises for the American crab fishermen in the Bering Sea. This time, the crew detects an unidentified vessel lurking near their fishing grounds. With no signals coming from the Automatic Identification System, AIS, suspicions grow. The vessel's silence on the AIS could mean they're onto a lucrative fishing spot, or, more worryingly, they're trying to avoid detection due to less savory activities. In response, the skippers decide to lead the mysterious boat away by heading west while keeping their AIS active, only to turn it off later to disappear from the radar, a tactic meant to confuse the unidentified vessel and protect their prized fishing spots. Once they believe they've evaded the potential threat, the crews get back to the task at hand, dropping their crab pots in anticipation of a bountiful catch. The risk of leading another captain to their secret spots is high. If the fishing doesn't pan out, it could damage reputations. But when the pots are pulled up, the gamble pays off with a significant haul, proving the wisdom of their chosen location. In the vast expanse of the ocean, where the line between wonder and danger blurs, a triumphant catch brought a surge of exhilaration that was quickly supplanted by a sobering discovery. A vital pot, an indispensable tool in the fisherman's arsenal, was nowhere to be found. The search commenced, and with each passing moment, the realization dawned that something was amiss. The pristine beauty of the marine environment belied a hidden truth: the presence of illegal fishing activities deep within American waters. As the net was meticulously combed through, a tangled mess of debris emerged, revealing the pot's fate. It had become ensnared in a web of discarded lines, nets, and other detritus, a haunting testament to the perils and unpredictable nature of sea fishing. The incident served as an unwelcome reminder of a growing problem that had escalated in recent years, casting a shadow over the joy of the catch. The discovery of the entangled pot was not an isolated event. It was a stark manifestation of the rampant illegal fishing activities that had infiltrated American waters, posing a serious threat to marine ecosystems and legitimate fishing operations. This realization ignited a sense of urgency among the fishermen, compelling them to confront a problem they had not encountered with such intensity before. Undeterred by the challenges ahead, the fishermen resolved to shed light on the issue of illegal fishing and advocate for stricter measures to protect their livelihoods and the marine environment. They embarked on a journey of awareness raising, engaging with policymakers, environmental organizations, and the wider community. Their voices resonated, and their efforts gradually began to make a positive impact. Determined to protect their fishing grounds, the captains agree to patrol the area, keeping a watchful eye for any intruders. Their vigilance soon pays off when they spot another vessel approaching. With the lights off to avoid detection, they wait for the right moment to confront the interloper. The suspense builds until they finally illuminate their boats and fire warning shots, a clear message to the poacher. Startled, the trespasser quickly turns away, deterred from poaching in these waters. Monty, another crew member, leads the effort to patch the pipe, under immense pressure to prevent the boat from taking on more water. The situation is precarious. A failure could lead to a major emergency, risking the lives of everyone on board.
Big waves coming up! The weather sucks!
With no room for error, the crew wraps the damaged area tightly, securing it with clamps, hoping it will withstand the storm's fury. The patch job, although temporary, holds up, much to the relief of the crew. They manage to avert disaster, showcasing their skill and determination in the face of adversity. With the immediate threat mitigated, the crew can return to their tasks, driven by a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. Captain Keith Colburn and his crew find themselves in the midst of a relentless storm. The sea, known for its ferocity, becomes a formidable opponent as the crew sets out on a daring fishing expedition. As the tempest roars around them, the feeling of isolation deepens. The Bering Sea, with its capricious weather, transforms into a realm where the line between success and disaster is perilously thin. Amidst the chaos, a wave crashes overboard, a stark reminder of the sea's power and unpredictability. Keith, aware of the dangers, warns his crew to stay alert, knowing that the sea spares no one. They strategically place their fishing gear, aware that the encroaching ice poses a significant threat. Yet the storm's direction offers a glimmer of hope, promising to keep the ice at bay momentarily. This window of opportunity is everything for the fishermen, a chance to haul in their catch free from the fear of being ensnared by ice. As the storm rages on, the crew successfully retrieves a substantial haul of crabs, a testament to their hard work and the sea's bounty. The mood lightens momentarily with their success, but the sea is a fickle master. The winds shift, now heralding a new challenge. What was once an ally turns into an adversary, as the southern winds, instrumental in keeping the ice at bay, now whip up massive waves, threatening to overpower the boat. In the midst of this tumult, the crew faces moments of peril. A massive wave sweeps over the deck, injuring crew members and testing their resolve. Yet, despite the relentless assault of nature, the spirit of the fishermen remains unbroken. They press on, driven by the promise of a bountiful catch and the unyielding desire to conquer the sea's challenges. As they navigate through towering waves and dodge ice flows, the reality of their profession comes into stark relief. Every crab, every successful haul is earned through sweat, determination, and a willingness to face the sea's wrath head-on. The expedition is a roller coaster of emotions, from the highs of a successful catch to the lows of battling the elements. Through it all, Captain Keith and his crew demonstrate an unbreakable bond, a deep understanding of the sea's nature, and a respect for its power. As the journey nears its end, the crew takes a moment to reflect on their ordeal. They've weathered the storm, challenged the ice, and emerged victorious, but not without cost.
Get a count. 420.
The Bering Sea, in all its glory and terror, has once again proven to be a formidable adversary. All right, folks, that's pretty much it for this video. Hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. In the vast, churning waters of the sea, Captain Keith and his crew faced the daunting challenge of crab fishing amidst 40-knot winds and towering 25-foot waves. Their goal was simple, yet perilous: to catch crabs by strategically placing and retrieving their pots from the ocean's depths. But the sea, unforgiving and wild, turned this task into a battle against nature's might. With the storm raging, Keith devised a plan to utilize the weather to their advantage, rather than fighting against it. He decided to let the wind guide their boat, the Wizard, from one crab pot to the next. By positioning the boat so that the smaller starboard side faced the incoming waves and using the port side as a barrier against the wind, they could safely drift down the line of pots. This technique, while risky, allowed them to keep hauling in crabs without directly confronting the storm's fury. As they approached the first pot, excitement and tension were high. The crew, fully aware of the dangers, worked with precision and care. The method seemed to work. They managed to collect crabs pot by pot, despite the relentless waves and wind. However, the ocean constantly reminded them of its power, threatening their safety with each massive wave. The weather worsened, turning from bad to dire as 30-foot waves began to assault the vessel. Despite the increasingly treacherous conditions, Keith and his crew pushed on, determined to haul in as many crabs as they could. They faced each challenge head-on, from navigating through snow squalls to dealing with the constant threat of being swept overboard by monstrous waves. But there's only so much risk one can take against the forces of nature. After a particularly close call, where the crew barely managed to avoid disaster, Keith made the difficult decision to halt their operation. The risk had become too great, the storm too violent. It was a reminder that no matter how experienced or prepared, the sea demands respect and sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. The crew's effort, though cut short, was not in vain. They had managed to secure a significant amount of crabs, battling the elements with cunning and bravery. But as they turned the Wizard away from the storm, the mood was somber yet relieved. They had faced the ocean's wrath and lived to tell the tale, but the experience served as a stark reminder of the ocean's power and unpredictability. In the end, Keith reflected on the day's events with a mix of disappointment and gratitude. Disappointed that they couldn't continue their operation, but grateful that they had avoided a worse fate. The sea had tested them, and while they had to retreat, they did so with their lives and spirits intact. The storm would pass, and they would be back, ready to face the ocean's challenges once more. But for now, they were content to return home, safe from the sea's mighty clutches. In a raging storm, the 155-foot fishing vessel, Wizard battles against powerful northerly winds, with speeds ranging from 35 to 50 miles per hour. Captain Keith Colburn steers through the tumultuous weather, ready to embark on the Opelio crab fishing season, donning his gear with a mix of determination and caution. This season is particularly challenging, not just because of the weather, but also because it marks the trial by fire for 27-year-old Amy Majors, a newcomer to crab fishing, known as a greenhorn. Amy, despite her lack of experience in crab fishing, brings with her a solid resume and a steadfast belief in her own capabilities. She enters this brute force fishery with confidence, ready to prove she's as capable as any veteran fisher. As the Wizard plows through 25-foot seas, Amy faces her first real test, a grueling 18-hour shift, baiting hundreds of pounds of pots, a task that would exhaust even seasoned crew members. Surprisingly, Amy handles her tasks with exceptional resilience. She's soaked, tired, but unfazed by the relentless work and harsh conditions, earning the respect of Captain Keith, who notes she's tougher than many men he's hired over the years. Amy's dedication shines as she tirelessly chops bait, handles stinky codfish, and shows no signs of faltering, a rare trait among greenhorns. However, the storm is not the only challenge facing the Wizard. A critical emergency unfolds when a water sensor is triggered, revealing a damaged pipe in the bow, caused by a 25-foot wave. This pipe, essential for recycling water into the crab tanks, now threatens to sink the boat as it floods the vessel. The crew scrambles to address this dire situation without the necessary replacement parts, resorting to a makeshift fix with rubber and clamps. Monty, another crew member, leads the effort to patch the pipe, under immense pressure to prevent the boat from taking on more water. The situation is precarious. A failure could lead to a major emergency, risking the lives of everyone on board. To find out what happened next, stay subscribed to the channel because the next part will be out released very soon.